when I got punk rock, I realized that there was a fervor and a subversive frame of mind that was very similar to like a lot of the hip hop I was listening to, which that shared with punk rock. So I started doing that. About 11, really wanted to be in a band. My parents were like, no. My dad said, you know, my dad was also an artist and he did considerably well. And then he got screwed up. He signed some deals. Now this is the music of a quick tidbit of the music business part. My father signed a deal where he basically gave up all of his artistic as well as monetary rights. He gave up all of his licensing, all of his songs, everything that he was to create as an artist was going to be given to a label and or his management. So my father never saw anything on the back end. He got everything on the front end, maybe got a little bit of money from catering, a little bit of money from the guarantees on shows. But in the end, after touring with Marvin Gaye and Prince and War and Little Richard, my father, it's sick, but he got nothing out of it. And that was a really bad move, business-wise. It's because he was so excited, eager. I totally get it. But that turned into, you're never going to do music professionally, Jason. You're going to go to school, you're going to play sports and do well in school because that's how you get a scholarship. And I said, yeah, all right. So I started, you know, it took me years and years and years to get my parents to allow me to just start playing music. So when I was 13, I finally got a guitar. Yeah, 12 or 13. I got a guitar and I just started playing it like I was born. Like I felt like I was made to play this guitar. I played guitar for about a year, every day. I'd come home from school or soccer or basketball or baseball practice, and I would just play guitar. And alongside that, about a year later, I started to try to apply the poetry I'd been writing, because I've been writing a lot of poetry since I was a kid. Alongside a Disney star, I thought I'd be a poet, and a ninja, and an architect, and a lion tamer. I thought all these things. But I took my poetry and I started to apply it to the songs. Now, this is where we can touch on like the anxieties felt in performing or beginning to perform. Because when I first started this band, this band called Foo Bar, where I played guitar and sang. It was like this punk rock band. We did cover songs. One of those because it was easier just for me to learn songs and then to write them with a bunch of people, and easier for everyone to listen to them. And the most, I guess, the biggest piece of it was I was afraid to let people read and hear the things that I had written for a long time. I felt as though everything I had written, I was kind of writing for myself. I wasn't really writing it so that to exploit it or to even really unveil it to people, just things I was feeling. But it seemed as though every time I sat down to write something for my music, it was the same. It was those same sentiments. So I couldn't avoid the fact that I wanted to say something about myself because I was so closed, emotionally unavailable for so long. Even as a kid, I wasn't very good at telling people I was sad. You know, I was always happy. You know, I was always like, at least I tried to be. And then you turn to a book, a notebook, and you start writing about what you really feel. So I started to do that, and I wanted to apply it to the music. And this is the first obstacle that I felt as a musician was, okay, well, if I write this, someone's going to hear it. Someone might read it, and someone's going to see me perform it. So I tried, and I tried, and it took me a while to really give myself up to the music. I remember one day, I was 14 still, and my friend came into the garage. We were very much a garage band in every sense of the word. We practiced in a garage. We were shitty like a garage band. That's what we were. He walks in the garage and he sits down on the couch and he says, "Oh, I'm just hanging out here today." And this is the day that I brought this song. Finally, brought this song to my band. I was like, "Look, we're gonna write an original." I wrote the song. I got the guitar. I got the drums. I got the vocals, obviously. Let's get it. And they were like, all right. And my dude came in, sat down, and it was unexpected and definitely unanticipated. I was like, "Are you going to stay here today?" He said, "Yes, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to watch y'all practice." I said, "Shit. Okay." cool. And he was sitting like right here, basically, sitting right here on the couch. He grabbed a mug root beer from the fridge, cracked that open. And I said, fuck, he's for real skanky. You got your mug root beer on there. Okay, cool. So I look over and I go, okay, I'm start playing the song. And I see him kind of bobbing his head. And that's a good sign usually. That means someone's like feeling it. All right, cool. So bobbing his head. I'm playing. And I start singing. Kind of start singing because I'm hella nervous. Like I don't want him to see or hear what I'm doing. I start singing, and I start going into it. And by the time we get to the chorus, no lie, dude on the couch was like doing this. And I saw him in my peripheral doing this shit, and I said, yeah. And I started to like really let go because I saw that someone was enjoying what I was doing. So it really opened up this avenue for me to travel with him. Like, you know, we both get to sort of enjoy this experiences. Mm-hmm. After the song was done, he came up to me and was like, yo, this is really cool. And I was like, for real? He said, yeah, you saw me dancing. I said, is that what you were doing? And I for real thought he was having a seizure. So I said, all right, cool. Well, would you? And he was like, well, I liked this part. And he actually like mouthed out one of the riffs. Sick. And then when he said to me, and I really understood and I felt what he was saying, is when my whole world got flipped upside down. Because now that was the moment I realized that you can say things in music, and you can do things in music that are considered so powerful that it will move another person. Now it's not just you. So this song is not just your song. Now the song is being delivered as it's almost an offering or a venue for someone to feel something else alongside you. And that was when I really had to figure out how I was going to do this with every song I wrote. People ask me in these workshops, do you get nervous before you play? And I say, hell yeah. But I identify my nervous energies and my anxieties. I identify them as excitement now. That's how I'm most excited. And that's why I get on stage and do that shit. It's probably because somewhere in my body there was the same sensation that is nervousness, excitement, that feeling before you drop on a roller coaster, that feeling before you go on your first date, that feeling before you get your test scores back. Like, it's all the same feeling. You just identify it differently. I'm nervous, I'm frightened, I'm scared, I'm excited, I'm happy, I'm going on my first date, hope I get kissed, hope she doesn't slap me. Like, you know, like all those feelings, they all stem from the same place. It's a sense of adrenaline and an evolutionary tactic that your body has actually just developed in order to prepare you for what's coming next. So for me, I feel like it's an identification with your mental. Instead of thinking, shit, I'm nervous, like I don't want to get on that stage because I'm nervous. Come on in, unless it's locked, and then I can't help you. Yeah.
This is the wrong room.
No, it's alright. You know, instead of identifying it as a fearful thing or a negative thing, try to identify it as something that's awesome. Excitement, eagerness, or, you know, a good time that's about to happen. And even if, honestly, because there's so many times I go on stage, if I would allow myself to be nervous and do the things I do, I'd be embarrassed, like, most of that time. And I'm straight there, like, pouring water on myself, slipping around, falling and shit. Like,
I think it's awesome.
Well, thanks. I enjoy it. You know? I enjoy it, but if I was nervous, it wouldn't come across that way, and it would definitely be a whole different thing. So, with the nervousness, I really feel like trying to identify it as something else. Trying to understand that it's the same feeling you feel when you're happy or excited. It's the same sensation that you're getting within you. But it's a mental game. It's a huge mental game. Just like anything in life, man. Like, when I'm ill, I'm currently like feeling quite ill. But every night before I go on stage, I say, okay, for this next hour and some change, let's have some fun. And I tell myself that. And when I'm starting to feel sick, I tell myself if I drink enough water or if I like treat myself properly, if my body corresponds with my mental, then I'll feel better sooner. I believe that. And that might be kind of like some holistic, hippie shit. But like, I truly do believe that this game, especially in music, is huge in the mental department. Because those things coincide with your emotions, those things coincide with your physical, and then you go out and you perform. So, that being said, I know there's some people who are talking about like getting out there and how it all comes to fruition on stage. It's just letting go, man. And I know people say this shit all the time, but it's really understanding that what you've done, if you actually believe in the things that you've written, then you can exist within that realm. Don't really worry about, you don't have to worry so much about what people are going to say about it. Because if you believe in it, can't nobody tell you nothing. Because I can promise you that there are people out there that are like, this fool is straight crazy. Like, it needs to be institutionalized. I'm not. I'm actually like a rather like somewhat intelligent and like, you know, well put together person in a lot of respects. But that person is who I am when I perform, and I've accepted that. And that person, I might not be that person my whole life. I might change. I might just sit there on a chair one day or whatever. Probably not, but it's a possibility, and that's just who I am at this point in my life. And I've accepted that. Some people are built to stage dive, jump off the speakers, do front flip, back flips, whatever. Some people just kill it and they're super potent just standing there. If any of y'all listen to the Smiths or Morrissey, this dude just cruises around like this.
You want to touch me? I know you do, but you can't.
It's crazy. But dude just walks around and says it, and his presence, his belief, his confidence in what he does is so powerful that it exudes and assimilates itself into that crowd. You got people straight waiting in front of Morrison's house, waiting for him to get his paper. Like, just because something he's done, he's shared it with people. So you don't have to be someone else. You don't have to see another performer and go, that's who I'm going to be. No, you see another performer and perhaps you're inspired, or you see some sort of influence that you take from that. But you don't have to be that person. You be you. You do however you want to do, however you want to perform. As long as it's genuine, it will be effective. I promise you that. My favorite shit, man, my favorite shit now is this dude Woodkid. He's like this electronic artist, and Paolo Nutini. Like, these dudes just sit there and sing, but everything about what they're singing, and Paolo especially, is so strong that it like makes me get emotional just by watching dude on YouTube. I can't even imagine seeing him live. I'll probably just explode. So like, as far as the nervousness, I would say it's a mental game. Really believe in what you're doing. Maybe that's what maybe that's what you have to do first, is actually invest yourself in your art, then go on stage. You know, there's a few ways to look at it. So yeah, when all that happened with Let Live, with Fubar, the band started to mature a little bit, and we changed our name, and I actually called the band Let Live, and that was 11 years ago. I was 17 years old when I started Let Live. I'm 28 now. Which brings me to my next section of this workshop, patience. Patience is huge. There's so many people out there that believe that there's a timeline, that you're supposed to do things by a certain time or age. It's bullshit. You know, I think that, again, like, I'm 28 years old and we're just now selling out like the small room at the Masquerade. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not like some huge band, we're not YouTube. We're a band of dudes that wrote some honest music, and people like yourselves believe in it. Like, that's, I truly believe that the reason people come to see Let Live is because they believe in something about it. Not just because like our guitar player's cute or they want to mosh really hard tonight. Like, nah, I think they want to feel something. And that's the sense of genuineness I'm talking about, and the patience that it took. Because for years, people didn't know how to react to Let Live, and people didn't know how to market Let Live. People didn't know how to tour with Let Live, how to, you know, make Let Live the band that it's supposed to be, like these labels. And so we said, fuck it, okay, we'll just do it ourselves, because we know, you know, we know what we want to do, we know how we want to, you know, present ourselves, we know what we want to sound like, eventually, and we did it ourselves for years, and then all of a sudden, you know, people started kind of catching on. We wrote this record called Fake History, got signed to a little label, and we put the record out. And when we had no agent and no management, we got our first real tour. Before that, we were touring in three cars, not a tour van, not a bus. not an RV.
Caravan.
Caravan with the homies' cars. Like one homie that was like, yeah, I'll come on tour. And two of our cars from like the band. And we would just travel because we wanted it. Just wanted it. We wanted to play music. And that also, going back to nervousness or trying to figure out how to go out and just do the damn thing, touring will change you. It will help you develop as a person just as much as an artist. And I think that when we were touring, when I started to learn how much I actually wanted to do this, much like Broadway, for example. You can see this. Like, I can see bands all the time, and I would watch them and go, damn, I want to do that. I want to tour. I want to be on Broadway. I want to be in Disney. I want. And I would watch it from afar. And it wasn't until I started playing and actively doing what I wanted to where I realized that there are steps to be taken. I can't just wish it to manifest itself. I have to actively pursue it. So I started playing in a band, and we started touring. And I thought, when you start touring, and if you mean it, people are going to listen, and you'll get signed, and then you'll be playing the Masquerade the next day, whatever. It's not true. That's not how it works. And I'm glad that's not how it works. I'm glad that I had to go through 5 years of, hellish touring, and I had to sacrifice things. I had to lose jobs, and I had to, lose a lot of sleep just to get myself where I am now. And it's beautifully humbling because now we're here, and I see it as this gift, like a privilege. As much as I want to believe we deserve what we get, I still see it as a privilege. I see that the fact that people are there singing along and taking money that they earn to buy a ticket, or like asking their parents for money to buy a ticket or whatever. Like, that's crazy. I know that when I would buy a ticket for a band, it was because I wanted to really see them, not really no other reason. So it's a gift, and we're very. I'd like to take this moment to say thank you guys. That's the fucking crazy that y'all are here right now. So yeah, when trying to pursue something, people are going to say they're going to discourage you. Because this world can be a little rough. It can be a little unwelcoming, and sometimes things will discourage you. And sometimes you will discourage yourself. I did it for years. I was like, man, this isn't good enough. I'm not where I need to be. I'm not where I want to be. And then I started shaping my perspective. I started seeing things differently because I had to. I had to realize that the band was something I've created, and I need to put as much of myself into it if I'm going to have people believe in it, instead of just expecting people to, well, I wrote a song, well, we wrote an album, why doesn't everyone get it? Like, no, it's because you got to go out and you have to actually show people why they should get it, We're not writing top 40 hits, we're not writing like, Miley Cyrus or Taylor Swift or whatever. Yeah, we're not writing that shit. So it's not like we don't have that push. So you really have to go out and do it on your own. But I believe that today, in this age, in music and the industry, it's a very auspicious time for music and for independent artists too. Because now the system itself has become antiquated. People are now pushing against the normalcy of the music industry and utilizing things like technology, with recording, with the internet, with just learning that you see a 6-year-old kid playing, like ripping on the guitar on YouTube. You know what I mean? Like the idea of impossibility is diminishing by the minute. Yeah. And I think that for us, for all of us, anyone that wants to be involved in art, it's a really cool time because now it's moving from the suits in music and the industry, and it's going back to the artist. And now we have a chance right now to change that. And I would the one thing I can say about this right now is I implore you all to understand that this is about you. It's not just about the band you listen to. It's not just about like the engineers that you admire, the producers you admire. It's about you. Like, you are the next movement in this, whether it's the bands you support, the way you support them, the bands you're in, the way you perform, you know, the performances you're in, the way you perform, the things you say, the things you write. That's what's next. Not some $1 million fucking artist, or not some, you know, multi-million-dollar company that starts up because of music. Another Spotify, another this. Like, you are the genesis of what's to come next, and that's like one of the things I want to say as far as anecdotal stuff in this workshop. That being said, before I continue and keep rambling about this stuff, are there any questions? If you feel a question while I'm speaking, do not be afraid to interject. I will not be upset, I won't yell, I won't bite. I actually want everyone to get all the questions and query out as like when they have it. If I say something that sparks a question, please ask it. If you think of something, please ask it. Again, I'm just making sure I cover what I've heard from everyone and then move to the mechanics. So is there anyone with any questions thus far? Good? Okay. Kill it. Okay. Recording. Is that what you're recording? What are your, do you engineer right now? Are you going to engineer? Do you want to use?
That's what I'm trying to do.
Okay.
But something about the way the live time.
Yeah.
Something about the way it flowed. Like, there's a certain groove to everything. And I know it's kind of almost like a live show because it's extraordinarily tight. Certainly. It has a certain flow that, don't take it the wrong way, I didn't notice that on fake history.
It's all good. It was wrong fake history. It's totally fine. It's totally fine, yeah.
So was it like a lot of it, did you do it live? And
yeah, absolutely. Great question. Okay. We can actually talk about songwriting and that now, so we can get that part of the workshop. So when I write songs, personally, I will take the music and the lyrics, and they're separate at first. They're not like, I don't like think of everything at once, because that's a little difficult for my brain to compute. But what I'll do is I'll write a song on guitar. And I'll write guitar parts, I'm like, this is cool, this is cool, this is cool. And I'll keep playing, and then I'll listen back. I'll listen back to the song, and then I'll see what the song is provoking from me, like what it elicits. Is it making me feel angry? Is it making me feel happy? Is it making me feel sad? And then I start to listen back some more, and I start to sing. I'll like scat some melody, see what, you know, what works with that. And then I'll bring it, I'll get my like ideas, and I'll bring it to the band, and I'll say, here's a song, show them. They start playing it, and then I'll do my melody, scatting, whatever. But in that, I start listening for words that are most striking to me. The words that captivate me, and honestly, any words that come out, because usually I'm just making words just to get like placement. And if I find a word that really does elicit something or make me feel strongly about a subject, just one word or two words can make me feel super strongly about the subject that I'm about to tackle, I will understand that that song has told me what it wants to be written about. A lot of people, I think, will take a song, I'm not sure they, you know, how they write specifically, but they'll take a song and they have music, and then the singer will have lyrics, and he just puts them on top. Like, here's what I wrote, I think this will be good on this song. As opposed to listening to the song and seeing what that song is, the atmosphere the song is created, what kind of song that can actually be. I personally like to look at it as your lyrics and your vocal melodies should be another instrument and intertwine and interlace with the song, as opposed to being like a blanket on top. They should be a part of it. One thing that I feel like isn't so much focused on, again, is syllabic placement, so syllables and sort of the percussive nature of words. I try to look at it like one big, sort of like one entity. When I'm singing the songs, I can't just take everything I've written down on my phone and just throw it in the song, because those words, the cadences, the inflections, and the syllables might not be proper for any of the sections of the song. So, in that, I feel like a great example would be Michael Jackson or Freddie Mercury. Those two singers, to me, use the percussive nature of words within music like probably almost the best you could. You know, obviously Michael Jackson, he made, that dude would straight talk in songs, and it would be awesome. Yeah. You know, like, you've been hit by, you've been struck, like just 3 words, 5 words, a smooth criminal. You know, but a smooth criminal, not a smooth criminal, a smooth criminal, a smooth criminal. Like, he knew how to strike you with those words. Same thing with Freddie Mercury, man. Like, from Bohemian Rhapsody to, you know, Fat Bottom Girls, whatever. Like, they just knew what the song was asking for as far as performance. So when you're writing a song, you have to remember that hopefully it'll be part of an album. So what we did is we were writing a lot of music, and what I would do is I would write, and if I felt another song coming on, or just a riff or something after the song I've already written, I would immediately jump on it. And immediately jump on it, because I feel like that's where you get the most natural and organic flow, is when you're playing these songs and then something else comes out and you go, oh, now I feel this, let me write this. And that was a byproduct of something we've already done. When we were recording the record, before we recorded the record, we sat in the studio and just jammed and tried to see what songs worked best, like, next to each other, and what flow worked best for the album sequence. Some songs never made the album because they just didn't flow right, or they weren't proper for this album. And then before we went into actually track, we sat in the studio that we tracked, and we did pre-production. So we pre-pro'd some stuff, and we listened to all the songs together, just to make sure that sequentially it made sense. Fake History, we didn't do that. We came in with 11 songs, and no, actually we came with 13 songs. We came in with 13 songs, and just recorded all of them, and then said, shit, how are we gonna put the songs together, you know? And we just try to make like an order, which we did to the best of our ability, but we didn't have the liberty, or the luxury of pre-production at the time, because we were just starting with this label and had no money, so we just went in and recorded it. So that regarding recording, sequencing, as well as writing, there are so many ways that you can, there's so many ways that you can look at writing a song. I personally, I can only really give you my own take, is I make sure that the song tells me what it's going to be written about. I don't force upon the things that I've written on the song, because that's when things become contrived, I think, and can sort of be obviously non-authentic, unauthentic. With writing and lyrics, you have to be vulnerable. You have to really allow yourself to open up. Maybe not necessarily, sometimes it doesn't even have to be about you. When I wrote Fake History, I was writing about the things I was observing. And I was just like unabashedly honest about what I felt. I was like, this sucks, this rules, that's kind of shitty, that's awesome. You know, like I just talked about what I felt about things. And I was very open about that. But then in The Black is Beautiful, I wrote from, as opposed to third person, now I'm first person. I'm talking about all the things that I lament and abhor and can't stand with me involved. Understanding that I actually had a part in that, like a really big part. And everything that I was bummed out about stemmed from my own insecurity, from my own inability to understand, and my own judgmental attitude.
Yeah.
So I had to change that if I wanted to see a change in all the things I was, you know, I guess, trying to discredit in my life. When you're writing, whether it be first person, third person, 28th person, whatever, when you're writing, you want to try to find a place where you can be the most honest. You want to try to find a place you can be the most authentic, the most genuine. That's what you want to do when you're writing. You don't necessarily, I used to listen to a lot of bands and listen to how they would write, like Radiohead and this rapper called Louis Logic that I really liked, and I'd be like, I'm going to write something like that, something really cryptic and really clever. And then it would be like this weird shit.